What's up guys, welcome back for another DevPro duel video, Cross-Banlist video number 10. So the next matchup, Tengu plans versus Infernity. So the matchup on the right side of the bracket, the right corner. Which deck has the advantage here? To me it seems Infernity has the edge because of the OTKs. Tengu plans do have OTK possibilities, but Infernities can OTK out of nowhere. I mean, if they can set up their grave with the necessary cards, the necessary targets, one top deck, and they can change their whole field into powerful synchros. Let's take a look at the deck lists. So pretty much it's the same. The first deck list, of course, Tengu plans from Billy Break back in 2011 by a lot of players. This format, so planned format 2011. This format was considered one of the best formats we had in this game's history. Pretty standard. The deck has a lot of counters, main decked counters against Infernities. We have Thunder King Ryo, of course, Effect Failure, Maxi, so both hand traps are going to be huge. The Solemn Brigade, of course, main decked Trishula, the TG Hyper Librarian, not to forget. If he synchros, I'll also draw cards if I have Librarian on the field. Steel Swarm Roach, also a very good rank 4 exceed against Infernity, so the deck definitely has a chance. The second deck list, Infernity, the Synchro version, pretty much the first version of the deck when we got them in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. I've made a minor mistake. It was pointed out by a viewer last time in the comments. The deck was main decking 3 Bottomless, but at that time Bottomless was at 2, so it was a mistake on my part, a misread of the deck list that I used. I think I used the Lazaro Bolido's winning deck list. From back in 2010, so my apologies. So one Bottomless less in the main deck. Nonetheless, the deck is still very, very strong. Let's see some duels. Alright, so the first game. I'll be playing with Tengu plans. My opponent is playing with Infernity. I have a decent opening hand. I have the Tengu, the Dandelion, which is not that great. If you draw it, you'd rather want to send it to your grave with Foolish Burial, of course, or have it as a target for Lone Fire Blossom. He attacks it, and I decide to random Typhoon, hopefully hitting cards like Dust Shoot or Infernity Inferno, which is the big Foolish Burial for Infernitys. And obviously going to Mind Control because I can establish a Hyper Librarian, as said, very huge against Infernitys. And because of all the synchro possibilities, I can draw some nice cards, hopefully draw into my hand traps like Maxi, like Effect Failure. And because I don't, I decide to leave the Formula Synchron on my side of the field, since, as you know, I can use its effect to Synchro Summon during my opponent's main phase. And maybe even go for a Black Rose play. Anyway, he has one Black Rose, I'm not really sure what it is, but due to Tour Guide, I can instantly search out the Sangan, which is a nice target to pop with Scrap Dragon. Again, Sangan searches out one of my hand traps, which is going to be the Maxi, or again the Effect Failure, again to secure my victory. So plans are leading 1-0. Then game number 2, he gets a start, he has the advantage. I think, I know if the move goes through, I'm going to end with a nice full field. And I think I had to make this kind of move, but again it was a very risky move. I know the Infernity deck is not playing Mirror Force, although it's playing one Torrential, so again it was a risky move, but again risky with high reward. I can deal massive amount of damage, he's still left at 700 life points. But again, I'm able to end with Librarian and at the same time with Steel Swarm Roach, which is very huge. Just like Thunder King, I can negate every Synchro Summon, or every powerful monster, I think level 5 or higher. And on top of that I have Maxi to get some nice pluses, punish him for all those special summons. But then again, I think the Infernity deck it can deck out the opponent if the opponent activates Maxi. Special summon a lot of times, let your opponent draw a lot of cards. I knew I had to keep the warning for the Infernity Mirage, which again is pretty much the huge Lone Fire Blossom, but then he reveals a second launcher, which we didn't know he had. Then again, I still have the Maxi, And of course, all those pluses eventually you'll be drawing into either your effect failures, of course, to stop the ARCHFIEND, or in this case the Infernity Doom Dragon. We know his the middle set is Infernity Barrier, so that's why I'm going to pop the other one with Typhoon and put his monster face down with Book of Moon. So nice. Plans are leaning 2-0. Very unexpected. Anyway, he gets a start and has a huge first turn setup. Luckily, I did open with Maxi, so he has to stop. And then I think, yeah, with this hand, I'm forced to try to MST his what is it called, launcher. You know, the most left one is the Infernity launcher, but bam, blocked by the Book of Moon. So I can't go for Hyper Librarian. He has to go for Mistworm. Set up his grave. I have to, yeah, I think I have to activate my warning. And yeah, now no back row, no hand traps, and now he's free to flip over the launcher. He goes for Surgeons, the guy that can attack 2 times in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if he destroys a monster by battle. But yeah, that's just the full force. That's just Infernity. I mean, they can go from nowhere, from no cards at all, to one top decked ARCHFIEND or a top decked Mirage. They can establish a full field. It's so disgusting, but that's just, yeah, how Infernity work. Yeah, I think it's going to end with a huge field of all of those synchros and with double barrier. I think, yeah, he didn't attack with his Surgeons at the second time, so yeah, it has to attack 2 times in a row. You don't have the replay, but in the end, it's not going to matter. We know he has a Stardust, we know he has a double barrier, so overkill. That's not going to save me. So 2-1, Infernities have a small comeback going. Anyway, I have the advantage to start and have a decent hand with the Veiler, with the Sangan. I decide to set it. Sangan eventually will end into searching a Dandelion, and you know how disgusting the 1-for-1 Dandy combination is if the deck is running shooting Quasar or something like that. And again, I think I can go for Formula Synchron, yeah. I decided not to activate my Heavy Storm because I have Trishula. He was smart setting up the second ARCHFIEND, so I think, yeah, I have to set my goats and hope he's not going to top deck of the... Oh, wow, he's obviously top decks the third ARCHFIEND. So disgusting. So he can search out one of his launchers, but again, I have the Veiler to save my ass. Then again, he can establish a nice field with Goyo, get some damage, he can special summon the Trishula on the side of the field, and for now, my setup, my hand isn't that strong. Goes to Stardust, the Dark Hole is not going to help either way. Here, maybe I wasted my Bulb and Tengu. I maybe should have just gone for the Tour Guide, into another Tour Guide, into Leviathan to attack over the Trishula, set the Call, eventually Call can reborn my Trishula. This way I still would have had the Bulb in the grave and also the Tengu. Then again, in the end, I'm not really sure if it's going to matter. Again, since the Avenger was able to reborn itself from the grave, he was able to go for Doom, what is it called? Yeah, the Dragon. So in the end, it's not going to matter. I think my only option was to go for Leviathan and of course put his Doom Dragon into defense with Econ and attack over the monster. His tuner, his Avenger, yeah, it's what is it called? Infernity Avenger is useless because it's now, I think now it's level 8. So it's not going to save him. My Heavy Storm is useless. The Typhoon is not going to save me. Set it just in case of launcher, but he top decks into a Mirage. Again, a top deck on his part. This is not good. Yeah, he searched out the launcher, which I can MST, so I'm still alive in the duel. But again, I have to top deck something, and I don't draw another useless MST. So I take over the ARCHFIEND. And now the Avenger is a problem, because it's a level 4 and wow, he top decks another Mirage. So disgusting, and yeah, obviously I can MST the launcher, but yeah, he still has his Doom Dragon and he can Synchro summon for Stardust, so we can attack for a game. So 2-2, a 5-gamer. Wow, I get the start, so hopefully my hand is good, and it is. So I have a Dandelion with the Call of the Haunted and the Lone Fire. So this can potentially lead to a big field, depending on his setup. He only sets one card. I think it's a Solemn Judgment. He made a good move, not the Judgment, my summon. Otherwise, I would have been able to go for game. I go for the standard Librarian Formula Synchron combination. Get some nice draws going with Librarian shenanigans. Draw into those hand traps. And thanks to Sengen, I can search out the Maxi. So I'm pretty much set up. I have to set the econ, which is something I didn't want to do because, yeah, as you see here, because of Heavy Storm. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much safe. Thanks to Maxi, get a draw, and of course I'm going to Valor the ARCHFIEND, not let him search, and he's blocked, no exceeds, and of course I can take my lovely revenge with Heavy Storm, blow away his back row, and yeah, go for Leviathan and attack for game. GG, well played. So Tengu plans, very unexpected I have to say. Tengu plans win against Infernities. I mean, it was close. Plans were leading 2-0, 2-2. But yeah, I think Tengu plans, after seeing, or at least yeah, after playing these matches, yeah, Tengu plans deserve the win over Infernity. So very nice duels. Tengu plans are going to take on yeah, either Teledat or Dragon Rulers in the top 4. So guys, that's it. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Litem signing out. Peace.